And we're live. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you can hear me. Do we have good sound? I'll wait for an answer. How about it? Can you hear me? You got sound going here? Hopefully there is. Audio is good. Excellent. Thanks, John. Well, listen, I got Nissy down in the basement. I'm going to bring her up in a minute. But first, I'm going to say hi to everybody. At least everybody I think I can anyway. Sean, how you doing? Derek, John, Artie, T4, Ethan Armitage, Jerry, Boxcar Jerry, how you doing? Thomas from Pennsylvania, 6200, and Dwight. Glad you guys can make it tonight. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring Nissy on. Can't hear you in my left eye. That's not good there, Artie. Craziness. Hi, Nissy. How are you?
Hi. Doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm great.
I'm worried about Artie, though. He's listening out of his left eye. So.
I know. That's not good when you have eye problems like that.
No. That's bad.
How you doing, Ron Bright? Listen, I got to say one thing before we get started.
Uh-oh.
No, it's not bad. But I'm watching everything that's going on here. And you guys that do live streams know how this works. But for those who don't, I don't always see when you ask a question because the chat goes by really fast.
Yeah.
So if I don't answer your question, go ahead and ask it again and again and again if you have to until I answer you. So I just wanted to clarify that so nobody gets upset that I'm not answering their question. Same thing goes for Nissy. If you ask her a question and neither one of us see it, ask it again. We'll catch it eventually. So with that, I guess we should get started. So Nissy, tell us about your layout.
My layout. Well, it's a giant work in progress. I still don't have track down on the HO table, but I actually finally have a track plan, which I'm very, very excited about. I had tried using, the fancy term is CAD. I tried using CAD on my own, and I was getting frustrated with it. And I had a partner of mine help me out a little bit. And funny thing is when I worked it with him, I basically ended up with what I had started out with my original plan. So I'm kind of excited. Everybody out.
Yeah, phone. It never fails. It rings every time.
I love it. We're at DEFCON 3.
Yeah, right? So anyway, before you're rudely interrupted.
Oh, no, it's fine. So basically, I have the track plan. I printed it out in real, I don't know what's the term. Like it's the actual size of the track. I've got it all taped down to my layout right now. So I need to go over it and score it into the foam. So I will actually have a guide for how to lay my track. So I'm kind of excited about that. So it's an N scale and an HO scale layout. The N scale is the rock wall that is on two sides of the layout. On top of that will be an N scale train that will run, but my main layout is HO scale.
That's cool. That's clarified.
Yeah.
Well, I've been watching your progress as you go.
It's
and
slow.
I don't think everything is slow. Trust me. You think you're slow? You should see mine. I haven't done anything in probably a month. Yeah, I've been so busy with everything else, and you got to live too, right? So,
right.
And you're married, so you have a husband you have to take care of. So
Oh yeah, I take care of him.
That'd be nice. We all have responsibilities, and trains is kind of secondary. I mean, it just is.
Yeah.
So, but I tell you, I got to give you credit for doing the N scale part of it because I can't do N scale. It's just too tiny.
It's really small. When I work with N scale, I have that. I think you've been talking about it, that thing that goes over your glasses so that you have extended vision. Basically, I have an optivisor, and I still go cross-eyed I was trying to do the little rail joiners on the track, and my eyes literally went bloop bloop like that really quick, and I thought, oh no, this is not good.
Yeah, that's not good. But that does happen. I mean, I have a tough time too because especially I'm going to bring up pictures later on. But I bought a little tiny dog from can't talk mini prints up in Canada,
Okay.
and the thing's about this big.
Oh yeah.
I can't even show it on the camera because you really can't see it. So I actually had to get a macro lens for my 35 and take a still photo.
Blow it up.
But I had to paint those because they're 3D printed.
Oh yeah.
They just come like a dull gray color.
Yeah.
And you can say, well, you try and paint a nose on a dog that small.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it came out pretty good.
Just did 2 police officers and 2 civilians for the courtyard or for the courthouse for the in-scale. And yeah, they don't have faces.
And scale, you probably need a microscope to see those.
Yeah, there's no detail. I just slapped some paint on their way. Yeah, that's good enough.
Hey, hi, Rail August. How you doing? And CDP 1965, Chuck, how are you tonight? Glad you could make it.
Having lasagna. Lasagna sounds good.
Yeah, I had lasagna a few weeks ago. I love lasagna.
Oh yeah. We'll make a big giant pan of it.
Did you make it from scratch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so does my wife. Probably one of the best things she cooks.
Why many prints are still floating over the Pacific? Yeah, everything's slowed up. That's for sure.
Well, that's not unbelievable because I'll tell you what, everything I'm waiting for in the mail has been seriously delayed, anywhere from a week to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's really kind of aggravating because
you gotta wait. It's just it's the hard part is waiting for it to get there, and even with tracking, you can't really follow what's going on. Like it'll just disappear, and then all of a sudden it's at your front doorstep, and you're like, okay, sure, that's great.
The tracking is a joke without a doubt.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got a gift from Vinny. I talked about it on my last video. It's a flat car. He lives over, I think it's in Nevada.
Arizona.
I always get those two confused. Yeah. Arizona, it went to New Jersey. I live here in Florida.
Oh, yeah, me too.
You would have thought it would have came right, maybe to Atlanta, Georgia, I think is the nearest hub.
Yep.
It went to New Jersey.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
From there, it just bounced around, and it took almost 3 weeks to get it.
Oh, yeah. I love it when it shoots from Orlando to St. Pete, and I'm literally in the middle, and I'm watching this going, why is it in St. Pete? Like, hello, Tampa. Hello, come back.
It makes no sense. And that happens with me, too. Things bounce around. Because normally, I live here in Sebring. You're a little further north of me, right?
I'm like northwest of you, I guess.
Okay. So, usually when things go to, what's the name of that? I can't remember. It's just outside of Tampa is their hub. It'll go there, and then the next stop is Sebring.
Okay.
But not always.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll bounce around throughout the state.
Usually it's like Orlando. Like, is it somewhere in Orlando, like Altamont Springs or something, and then you?
Sometimes I get stuff from Orlando, too. But like I said, it's very difficult to track. It's a crapshoot. You know, you just got to sit here and wait for it and try not to kill yourself over it. But,
yeah, you order something and it's coming from Texas, but it says it's shipped from, I don't know, Puerto Vallarta somewhere. It's like, okay, whatever.
That's another thing. I was getting stuff. And I like Yankee Dabbler, right?
Yeah.
Now, they have a store up in New Jersey, I think it is, or New York.
And the customer service is here in Florida.
And they have one here in Florida. So I'm thinking, oh, great. It'll be here quick because they can just ship it from Florida. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. It all comes from up there.
Yeah.
But I was still getting taxed like I was getting from down here, which kind of aggravated me, too. I'm paying New York taxes for something that, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I know. I hear you. It's a pain.
Hey, Anthony, how you doing? we got to be nice to Anthony this week because last week I went on a rant about engineers, and I think he got a little upset with me.
Oh, no.
I didn't mean it. It was nothing personal. I didn't know he was an engineer, but he's a great guy, though, so,
My son's going to school to be an engineer.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's a tough job. I wouldn't. I mean, I've done some engineering off the books, but to actually be a real engineer, or yeah, that would probably be tough. You know.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do the math. So
Yeah, that's my thing too. My math is terrible nowadays. I just went down and I'm like, I used to do trigonometry in high school, right? You know,
oh no, I
I'm
didn't
like
even
I
get
can
that far.
multiply something now.
Yeah. And what's the one thing you have to have with the trains? Math. Every time
Well,
I
that's
turn
true
around, it's
to
math.
some degree. I've at least, listen, I've always been good at angles. Geometry is probably always because I've always used geometry, not just in trains, but when I used to build cars, I used it for that. And then even as a handyman, it came in handy when you were doing work in houses and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was a skill I retained. But that's about the only skill you can really use for trains as far as math goes. I think, anyway.
Yeah. It always seems like I need math and I'm not good at it. So it just seems like it pops up a lot.
You know, worst come to worst, there's always the old calculator.
Ain't that the truth? Oh, sure, Artie. I'm not teaching him how to be an engineer. He's going to school for
All
that.
right, Artie, be nice.
Jeez.
Oh, I see the bridges floating away. That's bad. I could put that one up there.
Terrible. It's just terrible.
It is terrible. Well, I'll tell you what, we have a lively audience. We always do.
Oh, yeah. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, it's just don't get offended by anything that they may or may not say.
No, I'm good with that. So I'm just excited to actually finally. I've got 3 kits currently I'm working on. One I finished for the build crew, and then I have the HO version of the N-scale one I did, and I've got another kit I've started. Like last night, I literally dreamt about doing models.
That's scary.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
No, that's a good thing because that's another skill that you really need in this hobby. But are you scratch building or just building kits?
Right now, just doing kits. I don't feel comfortable getting my feet wet with the scratch build, but I have been accumulating different size pieces of wood and dowels and different
Yeah, you'll be
glues.
scratch building before you know it. It happens to all of us, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, because there's going to be something that I'm going to want that I'm not going to be able to get. So.
Well, see, that's the problem I run into. Now, I do a lot of 3D printing, and I can print some stuff I need, but so sometimes it's easier just to scratch build using styrene or cardboard or whatever, or
Right.
even wood for that matter. So, but my biggest problem with the kits are they're expensive.
Yeah.
You know, to pay $60 or $70 for a couple of pieces of plastic seems like a big ripoff to me.
Yeah, especially if you want to buy a couple of kits, you're out $1.50 and you've only got 3 things, and it's kind of like it's a lot. It's a lot. So try to get them on sale. But so I think it's Chuck is CDP 1965. He was asking why I have Ding Ding in my name. So Ding Ding is from CP368. He refers to me as Ding Ding after me showing up on Rick's live stream wearing my Flasher outfit.
It's awesome. He said, I was disappointed when I found out being an electrical engineer had nothing to do with electrical. Yeah, Rusty, I don't know what to tell you on that one.
I don't know. I think I'd find a way to play it up and be like, oh man, I'm so glad I'm electrical engineer. This has really helped me with my journeys.
And then you got Dave over here from Crooked River. Where'd he go? There you go. I dream about doing models too, Nissy. LOL. My wife gets mad though.
Nice. I'm not talking about those models.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This stuff will get out of hand after a while if you let it. Gotta watch him.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to scratch building William. I'm really kind of getting excited about it. I feel like I'm honing my skills on these pre-made kits like paint and glue and that kind of stuff, and then I'll feel a little bit more comfortable starting to cut my own pieces and stuff. Oh, Sean's making an overpass from scratch. Nice.
That's tough. Good idea, though. Well, you'll have to show that to us, Sean, once you get it finished.
Yeah. That's the thing with this this hobby is it's real easy, at least for me, to have all these ideas and be like just now, like, oh, that's a great idea. But then I have to like rein it in because I realize I don't have the space for everything I want to do. I have to be realistic.
How big is your layout right now?
The full table area is 8 feet by 7 feet 3 inches. But that rock wall is taking up 3 to 4 inches off of each of two sides of the table, 3 to 4 inches of space off the table.
That's not too bad.
No, I still have plenty of room, but
that gives you plenty of room for a while until you outgrow it. You have to go big. You have to branch out into the living room or something. You know?
Oh no. My husband will leave me.
Well, he might, but he might not. Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Scratch building big junk pile.
Well, somebody's got to do it, right?
Take a look at my scratch built model train station. Oh, nice. Oh, how I missed that. Start with kids and then gotta come. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Starting with the kids and then I'll move up.
I think that's pretty much what we all did at one time or another. You know, you have to start somewhere, and that's the easiest. I mean, I've got a whole drawer full of extra parts from some of the kits that I bought, and I've utilized some of the stuff on some of my scratch built things. So, but then again, there's like I'm building a replica of my house on the layout, and I just recently got these from Rick's Pike Stuff. I got the garage door. Here we go. The garage doors.
Oh wow!
And doors and windows.
Oh man!
And more windows.
Nice.
Because I didn't have anything that would work.
Yeah.
And the house, and this is kind of funny. This started out as a container.
Oh.
And I flew it up. It's 3D printed. And actually, my house has the vertical slats in it.
Okay.
It's a wood frame house. Of course, and I ordered some bricks. Once again, Dwight, if you're there, thanks for turning me on to those little tiny bricks. That he found some bricks from Etsy. And they're HO scale. So I went ahead and I bought 300 of them.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they weren't expensive, but I want to do the brick outlay in the front here, but I've got to cut a hole for the door. This is where the garage door goes. I got to put several windows and stuff in, but so this is how I scratch build.
Yeah.
Because I was going to make this whole thing out of styrene, which really would have been a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a little intimidating. It's a lot.
It's extremely intimidating. Because I'm new to the scratch building too. I mean, I've done a couple of things in the past. I took a wooden box, and you can't see it from here. It's on the left. I built an elementary school, 2-story elementary school out of it. Nice. It's an actual wood box.
Wow.
Got out the doors and windows, lit it up, put a set of steps on it. And I ever use that, that's a texture paint.
Mm-hmm.
I used the texture paint on it so it looks like concrete. It came out beautiful.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. That was really my first attempt at scratch building, and I did that about 5-6 years ago. So, but you'll get the hang of it. You'll actually enjoy doing it after a while.
One of these days.
Hey, Ian, how you doing? So what else? Tell us more about your layout. This is more for you than it is for the rest of us. I want to hear about your progress.
No track yet. I started out with I was doing like prototype. There was going to be Sal, and so my buildings are all kind of like 1940s, 1950s. But then the more I thought about it, I have a hard time staying stuck in the whole prototype thing. So I'm going to stick with the town is going to be like 40s and 50s buildings. But it's kind of like the town that didn't change because it didn't need to. So it's like Mayberry, but it's in 2022 kind of a thing.
Well, that's cool.
So I could run any train I want on it, basically. So I've got the drive-in diner and the 50s cars, but then I've got a mix of the HO, fancy sports cars, whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I have a Greyhound building that's probably, I think, from the 50s or 60s, and I haven't seen it since. So I'm not quite sure. I've had a hard time finding that image. So
I've seen those before. They're actually kind of cool. Now I model late present day, but there's a lot to be said for the 50s and 60s.
it's got character to it.
Exactly. I don't think I'd want to go before that though.
Yeah, I definitely don't want now with like everything's glass. I don't want all that. I want colors and textures, and I like the look of brick and concrete and
Oh yeah, it's much more colorful and it has more of a personality.
yeah, I don't be too boring. Harvey says I'd like to see Nisi do a dual gauge in scale and HO running on the same line.
Oh, that'd be a neat trick.
What is that? I don't know. I don't even understand the concept. Like
Well,
next to each
yeah,
other?
the HO, the rails would be out here and the N scale would be inside of it.
Oh.
But I could see a lot of potential problems with that.
Yeah, I don't have enough space to do that.
Yeah.
No. That'd be cool though.
Because you're doing most of the N scale for perspective, right?
Yeah.
So that makes more sense. If I were going to do it, that's how I'd do it too. Put it out in the background somewhere, so you really couldn't tell it was N scale.
Well, it's kind of funny as I fell into the whole forced perspective terminology. The simple fact was I wanted to be able to run a train on the rock wall, but I didn't feel it was safe to put an HO scale train on it. So that's why I went to N scale.
Well, that makes sense too.
And then somebody was like, "Oh, you're doing forced perspective." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing the forced perspective."
Hey, whatever works, right? Even if
Yeah.
it was totally unintentional. But yeah, you're right. Well, if you would have went with HO, you would have had to have a much wider wall.
Yeah.
That would have taken more space off of your table.
Well, plus I have a habit of, hitting with the hips on the table, and
Oh yeah, that could be a problem.
that would be disastrous. So I figure if it's an in scale, I'm not gonna worry too much about it.
Although make sure you videotape it if they do tend to go over the edge.
No, because I can't play it. The words that would come out of my mouth, I wouldn't be able to be on anything.
We don't get to see good train wrecks these days, so
Oh, I would be the train wreck. It wouldn't be pretty.
Hey,
So-
Hillbilly, how you doing? And William, how you doing tonight too? Thank you. Glad you can come. And Steve 87, glad you can make it.
All cool cats are in.
What's the count of how many people we got? Anybody see it? Because I don't see the count on my end.
Somebody said if I was nice to my husband, I might be able to get more space, but I don't think that's humanly possible to get more space.
Well, we don't know your husband, so we can't really can't comment on that. People.
Limited space is what I'm saying. I mean, I'm sure he'd go for whatever, but hey, 30, that's not bad. 3014, sweet.
Sean says that, let me bring this up here. He says that, no, that's not it. This thing goes faster than I can click on it. So the N scale fits inside HO, I believe. Someone on YouTube has done it. That's the way I'm figuring too, that it would fit inside the track, but I could just see too many problems with it.
Yeah, that just sounds, I don't know.
I don't see the point of it either. I mean,
No. I saw a cool layout that somebody had HO and then they had a Z scale train running like in the park. Or was it an N scale?
That's cool.
So it was like people could ride the train. It was really neat looking.
Yeah, actually, that's a kind of cool idea.
But,
I wouldn't have thought about that.
but the Z's not happening.
I didn't miss anything real, artist. We're just,
You missed a whole lot. We were dancing. We were singing. There's a lot happening here.
There you go. That's what you get for running off.
There you go. We'll teach you. Oh, that's what.
Nancy did it, but she's taking down her HO. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't seem too happy with her HO layout right now. Yeah. Well, what do you got to say?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm making the moves.
Somebody had the lasagna. They ate it all.
Y'all making me hungry.
Yeah, I already had my dinner, so I'm good. But still,
Yeah. So you ready for the cold weather that's coming this weekend?
yeah, it's supposed to get down to 29 from what I hear.
Yeah,
I
27.
don't know what the real feel is because the other day it got down. Remember, it got down to 32,
Mm-hmm.
but the real feel was 30. Now, personally, if it feels like 30, well, it must be 30.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that because I got chickens. You know, they got chickens in the back in their coops.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to put the heat lights out for them because otherwise it was going to get that cold that quick.
Yeah.
I'm not a big weather watcher, and normally if it gets down to 50s here, we just don't even think about it.
All right.
But yeah, 29 is going to be really cold. My
Lunch
wife's
is-
freaking out. We're going to have to cover all the plants. So I'm going, well, maybe.
Yeah, I don't cover. It's live or die. Survival of the
I like
fittest.
that too, you know.
I don't care.
I don't. It's only going to.
Frozen chicken.
She saw that too.
Nice.
That's what my wife was saying the other day. She said, "You're gonna have frozen chicken tomorrow if we don't do something." Well, I'm all frozen chicken, no big deal.
That's too funny. Ooh, -1 in West Virginia. Ooh, doggy.
Yeah, that's cold. That's too cold.
That's uncomfortable.
I'm from the north originally, from New Jersey, but I've been down here for so long that it doesn't matter anymore. But I saw snow in Naples once. It
Yeah.
was about 15 or so years ago. It was just flurries, didn't stick. At 2 o'clock in the morning, we're actually camping out in the woods with our friends, and it was so we had a big bonfire going, and it was so cold that you faced the fire right there for about a minute, and you have to turn around to warm
Yeah.
up. It's like
Like
doing
penguins.
dance. But so somebody did the call tonight, so we're on the way home, and there's flurries. Hell, it's snowing.
That's insane.
It is, but I've
Sean's-
seen snow in Tampa back in 1967. My parents, we came down with the parents for vacation. I think my mother's grandmother or adopted grandmother, something lived there. Anyway, there was about a half a foot of snow on the ground in Tampa.
Yeah, 1977. I was the most disappointed kid you'd ever seen. I was so excited. That snow was gone. Like, what was it? It was like a quarter of an inch on the ground. I remember my neighbor they were from Massachusetts, and she had a big wooden sled. We got it out, we sat on it, and didn't go anywhere. Well, A, it's Florida and it's flatland, and B, there was not enough snow to make it slide anywhere. I was just disappointed.
Oh, I always said it, but if we ever got snow that stuck in Naples, I'd grab a lawn chair, just sit up beside US 41 and watch the carnage.
Oh no! People can't handle it when it rains down here.
I know. Could you imagine what they would do in the snow and ice?
I tell you what, I've driven on snow, and to me, driving on snow, and granted, there's black ice and all that stuff, but driving on snow for me, you just have to go with the mentality. It's the same thing as driving down here on I-4 after it's been 97 degrees out and it rains, because all that oil is slick from the cars, and it's just like driving like that.
Yeah, pretty much. I've driven in the snow and ice.
No problem.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Sean
McGee says chickens. What about those poor iguanas? Oh, they fall out of the trees down in Key West. It's an iguana alert. They're literally just.
I've heard that, and there was a thing on MSN about that. Now I don't live that far south, but I have heard that they will freeze and they actually go into
hibernation.
Hibernation, and it'll fall. Can you imagine standing under a tree and want to smack you in the head?
That would hurt.
I imagine it would.
That would hurt. Yeah, my
Hillbilly said they had 3 inches in May. Where you at, Hillbilly?
Isn't he West Virginia too? Or Virginia?
I'm not sure.
It's not good to get snow when there's leaves on the trees. That's dangerous.
That's true.
Minnesota. Oof, that'd be cold.
Yeah, they've had snow in Jacksonville on many occasions.
Yeah.
They just had snow up around Pensacola, I think. So. It's just the weather. It is what it is. Now, what did he say here? To see if you had ducks too, Jim, the chickens would be fine. How do you figure?
I'm lost on that one.
Me too. I don't get it. William says that the iguanas are, and they probably are. I don't think they're native down here.
They're invasive species, and you're actually allowed to kill them on site.
No, that's cool. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have all kinds of stuff over here. We have. Oh, wait a minute. What did he say here?
Ducks have down.
Ducks have down. Okay, so what's that got to do with the chickens? I still don't get the connection.
I guess he wants like a cross species thing happening there where the ducks are cuddling with the chickens. I don't know.
That would be weird. My stepdaughter was living in the guest house for a while up here, and she's the one who got us started with the chickens anyway. She came home one day with a bunch of chicks, and I go, "What are you going to do with it? Well, we're going to raise them." Are you kidding me? We wind up. So she wanted to take a couple of ducks too. So we had a couple of ducks in the pen. And I tell you, ducks are cool looking.
Yeah.
But they are the most disgusting, nasty creatures on the face of the earth.
Well, they're birds. They just crap everywhere.
Well, they do. They crap everywhere, and they would push the chickens out to get the food. And they were eating like total pigs.
Oh yeah. And
it's like, no, they got to go. So we gave them away. What did Crooked River say, Dave? Hell, most of Florida came from up here in the north.
Oh, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
William got 3 inches in North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina, they usually get hit hard too. My son from not a marriage.
I'm from Florida. I'm Florida born and raised.
Oh, you are?
Yep.
Ah.
Me and my 2 kids. That's it. Everybody in our family is from out of state, but me and my 2 kids are born and bred.
Oh, there you go. So most of my kids are born here too. Actually, all of them are. I've got 2 daughters and 3 sons. So they were all born in Naples, but not me. I'm a transplant. And Thomas wants to know why the chicken crossed the road. I give up, Thomas. Why did they cross the road?
To snuggle with the ducks?
Could be. I'll have to wait for an answer on that one, apparently. No, not an answer yet. Anyway.
No answer.
So,
no.
I
gotta get some ducks and put them on my layout. That's what I should do because I have a water feature. I have my in-scale rock wall. I had to cut out a square and put a bridge on it because I have a light switch there. So under that bridge, I have like a waterfall coming down, and then I have a water feature that just kind of runs down and around the town. So maybe I could get some ducks and put them in them.
The hillbilly lives in Tampa, so he's your neighbor.
He does?
That's what he says right here. He lives in Tampa.
Hillbilly, where are you at?
We'll have to keep an eye on that one. Here we go.
Because a chicken or duck. I had it right. They gotta get it. Yep.
That's another scary image. It gets bad. Kyle lives in Alabama. Where did he go?
Yeah, he is hillbilly. Scott's in West Virginia now, but he was in Tampa in the 80s.
Okay, yeah, that's what he said. He lived in Tampa in the 80s. So that's unusual. Most people don't leave Florida. You know, the Florida curse. You can never leave. You always stuck here for the rest of your life.
Oh, gosh. I've left. I just keep coming back.
Well, I left twice, and I want to come back. I lived in Virginia for a short time, and I lived in Indiana for a short time. But this was quite a few years back, 30, 40, 50, almost 50 years ago. it was more work down here, and there wasn't work really anywhere else. I
Yeah.
was able to make better money here.
Yeah.
I said, well, I'm just going to stay where the money is. All right,
So,
here's one for you from Steve.
oh, actually, my family, I have family that lives up in the Adirondacks, which is the foothill. Wait, they live in the foothills of the Adirondacks up in upstate New York. Spent a lot of summers up there. And I had grandparents who lived in St. Louis, Missouri, and they literally lived on the side of a mountain. And to get in and out of there, you would have to, if it was snowing, you'd have to put on snow chains and stuff to get in and out of there. And their backyard was huge, several acres, and it was terraced. So I have not been only here with flat. How far from Clearwater are you? I don't know, what, 45 minutes? Traffic?
Yeah, that's not really too far. Crazy Joe says he has parrots and they are cuddlers.
Yeah, I would imagine they're person. Oh, no, no, no. My mother-in-law had a parrot, and that thing was, you couldn't even walk around it. There was
I'm
two
not a big
entrances
bird
to the
fan.
kitchen, and I have to use the second entrance because the damn bird would be like, caw-caw, caw-caw.
That's funny. You know, my wife just got a, the hell is that thing? I can't remember. It slipped my mind. It's a parrot type bird.
Yeah.
But she got a bum deal because it doesn't talk. It doesn't even
Oh.
make any noise. It just stands there and looks stupid. Cockatoo. It's a cockatoo and it does nothing. I mean, it's the worst bird she ever got. And I paid $150 for the stupid thing. She loves birds, and me personally, I don't think they should be caged, but that's me, you know. So she's upset now because the bird doesn't do anything. It just sits there and looks at you.
Well, you got to train it. She's got to train it.
Well, she's been trying, you know, and of course we have cats, and we have a menagerie. We have cats, dogs, bunnies, everything. But the cat just had kittens. Anybody want a kitten? Let me know. Anyway, the kittens, actually the mama cries constantly. We don't know why.
Oh.
So, I mean, and the bird's right there. So I'm waiting for the bird to start meowing.
Oh my gosh.
Because, you know, they say if you, it's repetition. If you get enough repetition, they'll duplicate anything. So I'm pretty sure that one day that bird might start meowing. That'll be weird.
Artie? That's messed up, Artie. That is so messed up.
I had a cockatiel. Talk the wolf whistle and say 60.
Messed up. That's just messed up.
That's just wrong.
I have a turtle, and my turtle is free range except at night when I put her in her tank to go to sleep. But 20 hours a day, she's running around my house.
Oh, yeah. Anthony asked me if I cage my chickens. Yeah, they're in a big, well, they've got their coop, and then they've got a big chicken run. It's a caged-in area. There's too many predators here. We don't want them to run loose.
Yeah, with coyotes and everything.
There's 5 in one run, and then there's 6 in the other. And the run is like a small bedroom in diameter, you know, in measurement. So they have plenty of room to play around. And they're very happy birds. And they're smart. I mean, I guess, because they know when it's dinner time.
Hey.
I go out in the morning to feed them, and they're all waiting at the door, you know, making weird noises. And they're like, we're hungry. When are you going to feed us? Damn it, right? But
where are the ducks? We're cold.
Yeah, the ducks are gone. Hey, I had 4. We had 4 roosters too.
Oh wow!
And I killed 2 of them. All you animal people don't get weird on me there because that's what you got to do with them. And I want to. Well, actually, all 4 of them died, but the other 2 I gave to my stepdaughter's future mother-in-law, and she cooked them up.
Oh, nice. I bet they taste good.
Well, no, this is the roosters. Like I said, you can eat them, but they're kind of tough.
Oh, tough.
They were huge. And that was a problem too because all they would do was crow all day and all night. And I do have some neighbors here. Thank God nobody said it, but it's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, come on, really? And then, of course, they were, they would kick the chickens out of the way and eat their food. The hens. It was weird. I always thought they're supposed to take care of that. And we're not going to get into the other aspect of roosters, but if you know, yeah, it's the weirdest
Come on, we need
thing you
more.
ever seen. Because they don't have sex organs. It's just weird. It's just.
This is getting good.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there, but but the roosters, they're pretty randy. I mean, they're constantly on the chickens, and the whole thing lasts about 3 seconds per chicken. The things you learn when you have wild animals, right?
I'll never look at a chicken the same again.
You probably not.
Do chicken nuggets come from roosters?
No, because roosters don't have nuggets per se. They're internal.
They're nuggetless.
Well, they're internal, so you don't see them. And like I said, when you buy the chicks, we didn't. I guess my stepdaughter didn't buy the certified ones. It's just they throw a bunch of them together. Here you go, and they say they're all hens, but they weren't.
Yeah, no.
And 4 roosters with only 11 hens, not good number because one rooster can service like 30 hens.
Well, yeah, 30 seconds each. That's nothing.
All right. I don't know, but lucky rooster, I guess. But
Oh my gosh. The life
Hey.
of a rooster.
hey, Heath, how you doing? But anyway, enough of that stuff. Back to talking about trains. That's what we're supposed to be doing here.
Got sidetracked.
Well, that absolutely. Wow, almost derailed.
Oh no.
So, what's your favorite road name? Do you have one?
You mean like the Seaboard airline kind of it? Like that would be
Seaboard, CSX,
Seaboard. Seaboard Airlines my favorite.
Cool.
Yeah, that's my absolute favorite. Yeah, I kind of did my logo kind of based off of that, but
I see your logo you got posted on the show. That looks good. Actually, looks a little bit better than mine. Of course, I can't take credit for mine. At least not the Millennium County one. Drew did that one, and I don't remember his last name, but he actually, I had like a contest. Says, you guys come up with a logo for me, and I'll pick the best one and
oh, that's
win a
smart.
prize. And it was cool, and it came up with a pretty decent one, and I've utilized it ever since.
Nice.
Now, the Shortline Thursday, I did actually create that one myself.
Mm.
So, but yeah, logos are important,
Yeah, I had help. I had Rick help me with that because I was failing miserably with that.
Yeah, Rick's a good guy. That's that boxcar Jerry with the chickens.
One rooster and a bunch of chickens.
I can see you grinning now, Jerry. And he says he's packing the snow boots in case I need to walk to the Big E. What's the Big E?
Yeah, what is the Big E? The East?
I know it's the Big Apple, not the Big E.
Yeah, I've got some Atlantic Coast. I've got a couple of ACL locomotives. They're Proto 2000s. I got a couple of those.
Cool. You run DCC with sound, or you're still on DC?
Right now, most of my stuff is DC. I have a couple of DCC. I have bought a Digitrack Zephyr so that when I start hooking stuff up, I'll run. My plan is to set it up so that it's wired for both DC and DCC, and I'll do a double pull, double throw switch. So depending on what I want to run, because I hear that it's not a good idea to run whatever locomotive on the other thing. It doesn't work out. And I don't want to blow something up or.
Probably a good idea. I run Digitracks myself. I like it. Some guys like the NCC instead, or NCE rather.
Yeah.
I have no experience. When I bought the Digitracks, it was a little more expensive, and I don't know. I just like the way it looked better.
I did research on it. It looked like it would fit what I needed, so I just picked because it seems like it's a 50-50 shot. So I kind of just went with that.
Makes sense. You got the Zephyrs. That's the one that looks like the old fashioned controller, right?
Yeah, it's like a big box.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't weigh anything, but it's a big box. Compared to my DC thing, it's like this heavy, giant thing. And the Zephyr weighs like nothing.
I know it looks heavy.
Yeah. It looks like it's formidable, and then you pick it up, and there's just nothing to it.
Nothing there, huh? That's it. Well, nowadays all electronics.
Yeah.
Your old DC transformers.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I had the Lionel one. Thing was about yay big. That thing weighed about 40 pounds. I mean,
Yeah.
you could kill somebody with it. But
It wouldn't hurt.
It already says Digitrax is way too expensive here.
Oh.
But with what I want to do, it would be better. I like the Digitrax. I'm very happy with it.
I got mine on sale at Yankee Dabbler.
That was a good place to get it. He has good prices to begin with. If you got it on sale. Matter of fact, I bought mine off Yankee Dabbler because I started out with the D400,
Right.
and I just recently bought the D602. And I like this one.
Okay.
This is much better improvement over the old 400.
Yeah.
But it took me a minute because the instructions weren't clear, and it's like a rocker switch down here.
Oh.
If you hit the right side of it, then you get the options like turn track power on and off, or actually shut the unit off. And I'm sitting there, I'm pushing on it, and I can't figure out how to get the track power on there. And I think I was watching. I think it was Heath, because Heath bought one of these, but he messed it up the first time. But actually, I saw him doing that, triggering it one end. I'm going, well, that makes sense. Let me try that. So I learned something. But it's you think they would give you better instructions with some of this stuff.
So Derek Alexander asked how many DC. I have 8 DC, and I have 2 or 3 DCC. Have to look at them. I've got 3 steam engines, but I don't even know if they run. I haven't even when I had track laid down, I didn't even try running them yet, so I don't know if they work or not. And they're all DC.
I've got a few DC steam engines here that I'm just using them basically for static engines.
Yeah, mine are shelf queens.
Yeah, because
They look good.
I built 2 of them myself. They were kits,
Mm.
and they're really cool looking. They were tough to build too, by the way, but too many little parts.
All those gears, yeah.
That was crazy. And literally, you had to assemble everything except for the motor. But to put because I like DCC, and to put a decoder in there would have been a total disaster. And I don't even know if you can because they're smaller.
Right.
Normally you stuff them in the tender.
Yeah.
And I'd have to get like an N scale decoder to put in there because there's not enough room for an HO one.
Oh.
I just said, you know what? It's a lot easier just leave the static engines on the layout. They look good.
They look good. Yeah.
So, but I got the New York City BLI that's got a decoder in it already, but I got to put a keep alive circuit in it because I'm still having some interruptions on my track. I probably need more feeders, but I hate dropping feeders. It's just a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
I've got a few, but I probably need a few more. But there's some dead spots.
Yeah.
And the keep alive keeps you smooth and you don't drop the sound off or anything. So I got to put a keep alive circuit in that. That'll be probably my next project.
Yeah, Steve Childers will be coming to my house to help me with wiring because I have no idea what I'm doing with it.
Now, you'll figure it out soon enough. But that's good that you got help. It's not as hard as you think.
No, but I'm like I'm not real good with instructions. If I see it and then I do it, then I learn it. Reading instructions is almost a nightmare for me. Like you just
We
don't.
sound like 90% of us. Instructions.
Yeah.
Who needs instructions?
Yeah.
Well, he said most of them are not they're just not laid out well enough.
Well, they basically it starts 1, 2, 3, and I swear to God, number 4 actually skipped. It should be listed as number 9 because they're acting like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, makes sense.
And yes, Heath, I'm definitely a shelf queen.
And Thomas wants to know when the next contest is. Well, it's going to be a way down the road. This last one cost me a fortune in shipping.
Yeah, just in shipping alone.
You know, the prizes didn't cost me that much, but the shipping just. And I sent one thing. I sent the N scale water tower to Sean up in Canada. It cost me $30 to send a 3-ounce package.
Yeah.
And the bad part is, of course, it got destroyed on the trip up there.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, I told him, I said, I'm sorry, I can't send you another one. Not at $30.
Yeah, gee.
You know? And the thing, it cost me a nickel to make. You know, so
That's crazy.
So yeah, it's going to be a while before there's another contest. Probably if I think my sub count I think is 258 or 259 now. If I get up to 300, I'll do a contest, a small one. So let's see what else. Now, I know you're on a time schedule here. It's 6:51. Do you want to drop out now or?
No, I'm fine. I don't have anything going on tonight. Originally, I thought it was Saturday, but Saturday I had stuff, but I don't have anything tonight.
Yeah, that was my fault. I messed up on the days there somehow.
It's easy to do. That's no big deal.
All right, well, that's cool. So let's see what we got here. Chuck says I got 268.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's getting up there. Imagine that. Does that mean I'm popular now?
You're popular.
For the moment, anyway, right?
Yeah.
All right, Steve, have a good one, man. He's going to run off the UPS, so. Sucks to be him.
I keep forgetting people are in different regions of the country because I'm looking at the time going, it's almost 7 o'clock. UPS closed like an hour ago.
Oh, that's true, yeah. So what else you got planned for the immediate future? Anything?
Like I said, I've got 2 kits that I'm working on right now, and since I finally printed out the tracks, I'm going to go ahead and get that grooved onto the foam, and then I'm going to start laying track because it's driving me nuts that I can't run a train on there. Yeah. And that's I kept putting it off because I didn't want to do it 50 times. I want to do it once, even if give myself a couple of years before I do it again, but I didn't want to, as soon as I laid it down, to be disgusted.
Yeah. Now you're trying to separate yourself from the rest of us because I'm on my eighth iteration now.
Yeah, this is my second. The first one my dad and my kids started, and then I realized for what I wanted to do, it wasn't big enough. So I tore it all out, and it stinks not having a train to run. And some people tear their stuff down, and they're like set back up with it. It seems like 2 weeks later, and I'm over here still trying to figure out a track plan.
I don't know how they're doing that either. That was my problem. Well, I never had a track plan. I would go as I go, with no idea what I was doing until which is the way I do most things in life. But there was a serious learning curve on the whole railroad thing because there was so much I really didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You watch Tom Gavichak, Tom's Trains and Things?
Oh, yeah.
He just did a video on removing the ballast off the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote him. I said, Tom, I know he's only a few miles away from me here, but I said, Tom, I said, the first time I did track, I glued the track. And I didn't use white glue. I used that PL300.
Oh, yeah, it's permanent, basically.
So when I decided that I didn't like the way it was doing, I destroyed all the track trying to get up. There's no way you can bring it up in one piece.
Yeah.
I threw away hundreds of dollars worth of track. And it was at that point that I realized this is stupid. So I did some research, which I should have done to begin with.
Yeah.
And now I use only white glue.
Yeah, but you can do research to blue in the face, and sometimes you still don't see that one piece of information that you need.
Yeah, that's true too. It's all hit and miss when you get down to it.
See, I nailed down the first layout we had. The cork bed was nailed down and the track was nailed down. So getting the track up was real easy, but getting that cork back up, those nails, they hide out in there. I don't know a better way to explain it.
Now you're supposed to glue the cork.
Yeah. So I'm figuring it out as I go. Do
Well,
we need to dig a basement? Artie, it's Florida. If you dig a basement, you're going to be in the aquifer. There's no basement.
Yeah, our water table is about 3 foot here. It's not good.
Plan first, then rip down train. Rip down layout. Yeah. Plan. Yo, I sort of did. I thought I knew what. That's just it with this whole hobby. I thought I knew what I was doing, and then I found out real quick I didn't know what I was doing.
Now you're in good company because we're all the same problem. So it's learning to go. You're going to make a lot of mistakes.
Oh yeah, a whole bunch. And then I think, oh, I got to figure it out again. No, I don't have to figure it out.
But yeah, if you can avoid doing it over and over again, because my wife says you're not doing this again. I go, you're right, because I don't think I'll live long enough to do it anyway. And it cost a fortune. I mean, I've lost so much money, And I started out with end scale. That was my first mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized very quickly that this was just too small.
Yeah.
So I sold it all. I actually made money on it. I didn't lose money on it. But I went ahead and did HO, but I was still working on a 4x8 table. I said, well, this isn't going to work for me. So I tore that down and decided to put a bigger table in the middle of the room.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did.
That didn't really work out either. So I started looking, well, everybody builds theirs against the wall. So I want to try the same thing. And I had like a 4 foot out from the wall each table. I realized my arms are only about 2.5 foot, which is a real problem. And where did I put the track? Against the wall.
Yeah.
So I had these grip, those extension hand grippers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had to use that to grab cars that derailed or something happened. I said, this is stupid. I got to change it. So I ripped it all down and settled on 3 foot because I could reach it.
That's smart.
And that's basically what I've got going here. But,
yeah, I kept the 4x8. I kept the original benchwork, the 4x8 table, and then we added on to that. So I have a 4 foot by almost 2 foot space to walk around in. But that 4x8, you still have to reach way over it. So sometimes I'm practically laying on top of the foam board. We'll raise the house and you have your training room under the house, but still you have the technology to build in sand. LOL, your son might learn a trick or two in engineering. I don't know, Artie. This engineering sounds a little cockamamie to me. I don't know.
Well, in Naples, out in the Fort Worth, the rich area, there's a few houses that actually have basements, but they're above ground.
Yeah, they build up. Yeah.
They build up, and the first floor is like second story, but they've got all their grass and everything else is built up to that. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, there's a building like that at USF. They actually have a basement, but that's what they did. They built it higher up. I got a leaky basement, but not a swimming pool.
And he wants to see my layout. Well, I can show you. I'm kind of tethered here, so there isn't much I can do. But
wow, that's amazing.
It's fairly big. My shed is 32 foot long, and the inside is 11 foot wide.
Oh wow!
And I'm using all but about 10 foot of it for the training. So now I've got two stories. It's not bad. It's pretty good.
It's not bad. It's really nice. It's not bad.
Well, I wanted 20 by 30.
Well, we always want bigger than we have, but
I had so many problems. I was lucky to get this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I might be able to turn my camera so you guys can see mine. Let me see.
Yeah, let's see yours.
Right. You show me yours, I'll show you
Yeah,
mine.
I was gonna show. And I said, I better not say that. Too many trees, Heath. I think I see last count was 74 trees so far. Artie says, hey, if they could make giant skyscrapers into wide and sand with a giant basement, we can make you one, Missy.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a plan. There, that's a lot of it right there.
Thanks, Rusty.
Yeah, I got the back wall that comes around, it wraps around. And I got my space in here to walk around. Got my bridge over there for my light switch.
Oh yeah, it looks a little different from the last time I seen it in your video. Did you make some big changes?
Well, I finished the actual rock wall. I got the paint on it so that it's no longer
No, that's probably what it is.
plaster.
It looks larger now.
And I've got the water feature painted, so it's no longer looking like brown. Once I got the paint on, I started feeling better. Like, oh, making progress. It's a miracle.
He says, ooh, let's see Ding Ding. What's with the
Ding Ding?
Now he's a strange one.
Are you judging me right now, Heath? Are you judging?
That's bad. He might be. Who knows?
Yeah, I took half the living room.
Well,
I couldn't do a bedroom because I used one of the rooms for a craft room.
good answer.
So, what you gonna do? I said when my son moves out in a few years, maybe I could use that room. But I think my husband was eyeballing that for himself.
Well, that's unfortunately all my kids are all grown and gone. And I just bought this house anyway. But the old house, that's what I actually did, was one of the kids' bedrooms at one point. And after my oldest daughter was gone, I said, well, that room's mine now.
Heath, if I use the master bedroom, that train is coming off the track. So, Grail Artist wants to know, Paul, why am I also Paul? Oh, that is because Heath, back in the beginning when I first started watching Heath's live streams, he was getting a bunch of people's names mixed up. And he was calling a lot of people David or Paul. And as a joke, he alluded to me as Paul as well. Why not? We'll just make everybody Paul in the chat. And then Container Man started calling me Paul. So whenever he says hi to me, if he says my name, he says Paul. So that's why.
That's weird.
Yeah, well,
Ron Bright said this shed's 18 by 18. That's a pretty good size there, Ron.
That'd be nice to be able to have like a shed, a she shed, I guess you can call it, and do trains. But it's so bloody hot and the bugs and stuff, it just would not be an enjoyable experience.
Well, you have to put air conditioning in it.
Yeah. Can you imagine how much that would cost? Nah.
See, I've got air conditioning, heating. Hey, almost all the luxuries of home except for a bed. I got a little mini fridge. But that's why I said, let's just put a bed in there. You can live in there. I go, no, I don't think so.
Maybe I'll move the trains to the master bedroom and make Scott sleep on the couch.
Too many earthquakes in the master bedroom.
Va 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 voo.
Oh, these guys are bad.
Thank you, Scott. If you really want to go big, get LGB trains. Man, my dad had a garden train. My kids used to play, well, not play, but they used to run the garden train at his house all the time, and he sold all of it.
Never had anything that big. I had O-scale when I was a kid, but I don't know. Well, I've got enough land here. I could have an outdoor setup like that, but I can't afford it.
I've thought about it, but I've got so much wildlife in the backyard with the squirrels and stuff, and those squirrels are just those squirrels. Those squirrels. The squirrels literally. When we first put in our privacy fence, the squirrels literally started peeling the strips of wood off the slats so they could do whatever, build a nest or whatever.
That's weird.
Yeah, and we had a bush that we needed to use a small string to tie it to get it to grow a certain way. We went out there and all the strings were undone. Well, we did it again and we literally watched the squirrels undoing the knots and the bows to get to the stuff. So
Wow.
I think they would just tear it up.
Well, we have a lot of squirrels, or we had squirrels out here. I think the cats got a lot of them, but it was a big thing. We had them almost trained to eat out of our hand.
Oh, cool.
And they weren't really destructive, though. At least not as near as I could tell.
These
Yeah,
like those squirrels.
Rusty goes, my cat likes squirrels and the squirrels know it.
Now that's the kind of cat to have.
Yeah, right? Or Derek here. Trains chasing chickens.
Oh my gosh.
That would be a little weird.
Pennsylvania is asking you a question about a 484.
Let's see. No, not really. I've got enough locomotives here to last a lifetime. I'm thinking about selling some of mine off because I went ahead and I bought too many of them.
You never have too many trains. What? That's blasphemy.
Well, in a way it is, but
Blasphemy.
the problem is my upper level on the back side here is so full of trains. I can't add anything more. Run out of track at the store. So, just I've got my roundabout there, and it's all loaded up with locals.
Oh wow.
So I figured I bought a bunch of MTHs. They went out of business, and I'm not impressed.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to sell a few of them off. They're brand new, but I think I like the scale trains. That's my favorite one. They're a little pricier, but they're very highly detailed, and they seem to work well for me. So
Nice. Sean says whoever has the most toys wins.
yeah, what I say, whoever has the most toys still dies.
Ray Central had a question for you. You want to know what your favorite steam locomotive is?
Aha. Well, the one I got is kind of my favorite. It's in New York City. It's a 484 with DC and sound. And like I said, as soon as I get a keep live circuit in there, I want to get it running. I'm probably going to run that on my passenger rail for the most part. So yeah, that's kind of my favorite. And no, you can't have my BMF ET 4434. I got two of them, and they were $300 each. I ain't letting them go. I wouldn't even sell them. I like them very much.
Toy trains?
What kind of toys? Well, N scale maybe. Oh, here you go. He says steam and Z-Kit. Do they make a steam engine in Z-Kit?
Oh, Lord.
I mean, it'd be like what? This big?
No, that's insane.
It is insane. I'm not sure about that one, Heath.
No. No.
There we go. Artie says, well, Sean McGee, Missy is the winner. She has toy trains we don't have and never will. Laughing my ass off.
All I know is once I started playing, working, running, whatever, these trains, and then trying to deal with like a Christmas train, like, a $20 Christmas train, the frustration, they're just cheap plastic. I don't want anything to do with it.
I don't blame you. Chuck wants to know what I'm going to say. I'll get back with you on that, Chuck, because I really haven't made a decision yet. And obviously, I can't sell them for what I paid for them. It'll be a little bit less, but and I got a hell of a deal on them, by the way. So I'll let you know about that down the road. As Artie likes the C&O 482s. That's a nice logo. And Sean says I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Good man.
Probably a smart move.
Good man. Oh, humanity has an AZL Pennsylvania logo in Z scale.
Where is he? That must be back up a ways, huh?
No, it's like, unless I'm behind. I could be behind.
No, I don't see it. Oh, wait, there it is. I have an amazing AZL Pennsylvania logo in Z scale.
What's AZL? I don't recognize that name.
We don't recognize Z scale either. Can't see it. That could be like an invisible train,
Oh, that's funny.
I remember when they first came out, they used to call them suit. Damn, I can't think of the word now. Briefcase train sets.
Oh.
Because you can fit a Z scale inside a briefcase. And I'm saying, okay, so that's what we're paying these guys $150,000 a year for to play with their trains.
So it's
AZL is the name of the company, American Z Lines. Well, that makes sense.
Never heard of it.
And Thomas from Pennsylvania says, I'm getting rid of my Burlington Route 484 Northern type. Might want to look into that one too, Chuck.
So pretty much my problem with trains is I want.
Join the club.
I want.
Says he wants $90 for it. That got sound in DCC or either one or what? Well, that's the thing. There's so many things I'd love to buy that I just really can't afford right now. And, the money went really fast. I had a little bit of a, I don't know what that stands for.
I don't either.
Well, I got some ideas, but why don't you go ahead and clarify that, Heath?
Yeah, Keith, why don't you clarify that? Yeah,
Hillbilly says that's all of us. Well, that's
Yeah.
true. It is.
Whoo, doggy, that's expensive. $700 a steam.
That's crazy. That's like O-scale over here.
Oh, it's gear acquisition syndrome. Yeah, you should see my craft room. I have the same problem in there.
Oh, I've never heard of that before.
At least it's not a loose nut. I've been told that before.
Well, we've all been told that probably, but
Yes, Joe. Actually, yeah, of course. It's not just I want, it's because I need. I need these things. I need it all.
don't we all?
I don't have any place to put it, but I need it.
I can run with that, Heath, but I'm not going to.
Are we talking about balls?
I don't know, like I said, if I had $10,000, I'd go nuts.
Yeah, it'd take me about 15 minutes to spend it all on trains.
Yeah, it wouldn't take long, but I would definitely go. And there's so many cool things I'd love to have that are just so out there in price, it's just not funny.
Yeah.
And that's the really, really cool things. They're so expensive, Yeah, that's why I've had to resort to making a lot of my own stuff because I can't afford to buy it.
Yeah. Ha ha ha. There's a loose nut in front of your camera.
All right. Let's see what you see there. Oh, go ahead and take care, John. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night too, man.
Might have to rent the new granny flat out the back to store. The new granny flat out the back to store trains in. Oh my gosh.
You got a granny flat over there, Artie?
It's like the mother-in-law suite.
Well, that's what I got now. My mother actually, well, it's my guest house. My mother-in-law just moved into it, so she's happy. But it was just sitting there empty anyways. So I figured, why not? And make a few bucks off it.
Nice. Is Hot Rod Rodney on right now?
I haven't seen him. Matter of fact, I haven't heard from Rodney in a long time. Runs and smokes. Is that a good thing or a bad thing there?
I was gonna say, is it supposed to smoke? Is that an extra thing that it's doing now?
It needs piston rods. Don't know about that one. He just says, I just realized the time is Hot Rod Roddy ever stream again. As far as I know, the 7 p.m. time slot is still technically open. On occasion, GVO will do a different show at 7. But for the most part, no. Because I was originally going to do 8, and I didn't want to step on anybody's toes because GVO, he does the 8 o'clock time slot. And every few weeks he does something with the 7 o'clock. So I said, you know what? I'll just do 6. This way I won't run over anybody. So, and by the way, it is after 7, so we probably should, even though we're having so much fun here, we should probably end this.
Well, thanks for having me. I had fun.
Oh, absolutely. It was great. So until next time, can we get you on here another time down the road?
Absolutely. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to show you more stuff on my layout.
We'll wait a while. So. I know how that is. No big deal. Sean said he did a couple of vids a month ago, and that's it since. So he said, I haven't seen anything from him in quite a while.
Wow.
So who knows? I'm sure he's okay though. I think, a lot of times too, these guys they get burnt out on the videos and the live streams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still new at this, so I should be okay for a couple of years.
Well, editing and stuff takes a lot. It takes a lot when you're doing videos. Editing is, I didn't realize how much is involved in editing and how much time it takes to do that.
There's a lot of prep work to be done, And of course, me, I'm kind of a worry board. It's like, oh, do I have everything in order? I don't want to get on at 6 o'clock. Oh my God, I forgot to post that picture or whatever,
Yeah.
But I do videos and then I do the live stream. It's not a big deal. Like, I'm retired, so what else do I got to do?
Yeah.
If I'm not doing this, the wife will find something for me to do in the house. So,
Yeah.
But anyway,
all right.
I was going to show a couple of pictures. I probably should, right before we let everybody go. And this is the one of the dog that I just painted.
Oh, I love it.
And I gotta make the poop for him yet, but but it's and there's another shot of the same dog.
That's fantastic.
And it came out not too bad, I thought. I mean, I probably could have done better, but it's tough.
No, that's really that's something. I love it.
And then you guys know about my Christmas story house. I did the leg lamp.
Nice.
And I tell you, that was tough to paint too.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And there's another. I've got it lit up inside. I've got both stories lit, but I didn't have the top one lit yet. But I've got a lot of furniture in the bottom. I showed you guys that last week. So
Very cool.
But so anyway, that was my big news for the week. Right?
I'm definitely digging the dog.
That's the best you can do, right? Well, hey, there you go. I gotta post this one here. Use some small Hershey chocolates for a poo.
Joe Rayner said maybe he's just constipated.
Yeah, it could be.
Needs more fiber.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not good at all.
All right. Well, I'll sign out. Thanks again for having me.
All right. Thanks for showing up with us, being here with us, Missy. We had fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And good luck with your layout. And
Thanks.
keep on pulling the trains.
That's the plan.
All right, Disney.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. So that was pretty good. We had Missy on here. I don't know who I'm going to get for next week yet. I got to search around. If anybody wants to volunteer, on my outro, there's my email address. Just give me a yell and we'll get you in here. To find what rubs his butt on the carpet. Yeah, I guess it would be. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and run the outro. So we'll see you again next week. Thank you for joining. And to everybody, have a good night.